Greetings once again to my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video might be seen. It's Celine Driver again with another Watches for Life series video. I believe this will be number 10. Imagine how much a person can babble on about watches. You can do 10 videos on Watches for Life. This is my State of the Collection mini-series. This would be number 4. I've done videos on my Zelos collection, my Doxa collection, part of the collection I should say, and my Squale part of my collection. And this is number 4. This would be my Bulova. Not many, as you can see. This is my Accutrons section. I had my first quote-unquote serious collectible was an Accutrons. It was actually this one. I've had as many as 20 Accutrons up until recently. I decided to sell all of them, all of the other ones, except for one which I gave to my friend Devore for helping me out with a couple of things. I decided to thank him by sending him one of those Accutrons. The other ones I sold. I was trying to thin out the herd, and those watches weren't getting a lot of wrist time, so off they went. However, these 4 keeping, and should be obvious reasons, but this one is the first one of my Accutrons, and I'm keeping this one. This one is from their Space View line, and it is a skeleton watch. As you can see, you can clearly see all the Accutrons stuff. Now, the thing about an Accutrons, now remember, these are all very old watches. They're very small and they're very old. This one actually dates from, I believe, 1965. I have to look. Matter of fact, I'll look right now. Hang on. Sorry to take it off camera. Hang on just a minute. They have a date code on the back, and this one is I'm sorry, it is a 1968, not 65. My apologies. But still, pretty old. 50 years old this watch is, and it is still running. Now, Accutrons predate quartz watches, and they are electronic watches, as you can see. They work on a tuning fork principle. I'm not even sure if this thing can pick it up. Let me hold it to the microphone. You may or may not be able to hear this watch hum. It uses a tuning fork to time the watch. Electronic hum about them, and it makes them very accurate, more accurate than the mechanical watches of the time. As a matter of fact, these watches were so accurate they were railroad certified. I wish I had a railroad version of one of these watches. That's one of the ones I sold off. But they predated the quartz watches. Now, of course, when the quartz revolution hit, they the Accutrons, the tuning fork movement went away. And almost nobody services these things properly anymore. As a matter of fact, all my servicing for these watches is done by a gentleman in Normal, Illinois. His name is Bob Piker. You can see his website at mybob.net. He services these things, he restores them, and he sells them. 2 of these watches I bought from him. The other 2 came from eBay. But this is my first Space View. It has been serviced by Bob. It does have its original band, which is quite rare for a watch of this age to still have its original band. But it is a signed Accutrons tuning fork band. Very comfortable watch to wear. I should wear it more often. I say that about a lot of my watches, but it's a keeper. I'm not selling it. This one is one I bought from Bob. And this one is quite a rare watch. This one dates from 1961. This is very old. This is my oldest watch. It still works. It's still keeping excellent time. But what makes this watch rare is most of these watches were either like stainless steel, or maybe they were gold filled or gold plated. There were very few that were made out of 14 karat gold. And for, say, every 10 of these style watches that were made in 14 karat gold, yellow gold, one watch was made in 14 karat white gold. And this is a 14 karat white gold. It even says so on the back, right there, right there. And it's got a good heft to it, and it's just a beauty. And again, it's original. Well, no, wait, this one isn't. I still have its original band, but its original band was actually too big for me, so I replaced it with something smaller, but kept the original band, of course. Still keeps great time, and still works beautifully, and just love that watch. Makes a good formal watch. This one, don't know much about this one. Whoops, it's upside down. Don't know much about this one other than I just like it. It is, of course, still an Accutron, still a Hummer. Stainless steel case. Original band. I doubt those are real diamonds at those indices. But it looks good. And just a nice watch. Definitely wanted to keep that just for its looks alone. This one is actually a GMT. It's one of their astronaut watches. And let me see, when does it date from? 69. So this is a 69 watch. It's a GMT, as you can see. Fixed, no, not fixed. Rotating bezel, bidirectional. I forgot how you set the GMT. Not terribly important. I think it rotates with the setting of the hands, and then you rotate the bezel to the proper time zone you're looking to track. But one of their astronaut series, a little bit bigger watch. It's on a Jubilee style bracelet. It's the original bracelet to the watch. This was also one that I picked up from Bob Piker over at mybob.net. By the way, his email address is bob@mybob.net. So shoot him an email, say hello, ask him about his Accutron collection and what he's got for sale. He's always got something interesting for sale. And if you have one of these things, he will service it. And it's just in great shape for something that's almost 50 years old. And it still keeps great time. So these watches are my acknowledgement to vintage watches. I do have a couple of other vintage watches. If you saw my last video from the Squale line, you know that the Baby Master is just as old as these watches, or some of these watches. And I do have one vintage Seiko, which we'll get to later. I don't have a lot of vintage watches, but I do have some, and these are the majority of them. And I just love the precision of something that is, predates quartz, and the innovation of how these watches keep time and do it very well and in a unique way, which hasn't been duplicated before or since. So I'm going to leave it there for this video. So if you like the video, please thumbs up. Comments down there. consider subscribing so that when I do additional videos, you're alerted to them. And I thank you for watching my another of my Watches for Life videos. And I will see you in the next one.